Okay, everyone. Cindy and I are so excited that you come this evening to listen and hear about a cellular health technology that is changing the way we see healthcare viewed. And so, first and foremost, we want to share with you that what you're going to hear tonight from the video that Cindy will share, and our testimonies at the end, our testimonies and testimony of our guest this is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any medical condition or disease. So I want to say that first and foremost. And my lovely, I'm just going to say host because she's a wonderful host, is Cindy Reed. She's out of Nashville, Tennessee. So I want Cindy, first of all, to share her testimony about how this product or technology came across her path, and how has it changed her life.
Okay. Well, first of all, I am a nurse here in Nashville, but I moved here about 4 years ago. And prior to that, in Mississippi, I was on a journey to discover what was going on with my body. I had gone to 2 doctors or practitioners at that point, and they did a few lab tests and everything was normal. And I knew there was something, and I had a pretty good idea of what the issue was. So I finally went to a functional medicine nurse practitioner, and she ran all the right lab tests and was able to diagnose me. And since then, even I ran across another doctor that actually tested me for various different things, because usually, and my challenge was an autoimmune challenge. And usually when you have one, you will potentially develop or have more than that. So I was tested, and I tested positive for 4 different autoimmune challenges. So when a friend of mine in Mississippi told me about this, we kind of met on LinkedIn, or discovered it on LinkedIn. So when she told me it was native to your body and non-toxic, that was the road I was on. I was looking for anything without side effects, without toxicity. I'd always followed natural, or tried to follow natural things as much as I could. So I started this about 3.5 years ago. And today I don't have any symptoms of any of the challenges that I have, and I'm not on any prescription medication. In fact, no medication, not even over the counter. So this was exactly what I was looking for, and had been looking for a long time, and just didn't know it existed. So I'm just very pleased that people are sharing this. And that's why I think about sharing, when you share it with people, and then you have to stop and think, if you're not sharing it with anyone, who will not hear that, and who will not have their lives changed because you didn't tell them about this? So, and it's just a passion. And it's Doria and I both, as nurses, our passion is to educate people about health, whatever that looks like. So Doria, what about you and your story?
Yes. So I've always been interested in alternative ways of healing, and so when this was first brought to my attention by a very dear friend who is a dentist in my area, he told me, he said, have you heard about redox signaling molecules? And I said, no, I'd never heard of that before. And he said, well, didn't you study that in school? And I said, I don't remember that, unless I slept through that class or something. But anyway, I was really, I did my due diligence. He sent me some videos. But I really went into like PubMed, because nurses, were kind of geeky in that way, and saw that, as I put in redox signaling molecules for any type of health challenge, I realized that, this was really bigger than what I could imagine. And I, I thought, at first I thought, well, I don't know if this is really, something I would take, because I saw myself as being really healthy. Unlike, Cindy had all these different health challenges. I didn't have any health challenges, although I've been a nurse for 41 years, and, wear and tear on your body, working 3 12-hour shifts, I think you just think, well, it's the nature of the beast. I'm just aging. I just got to put up with this discomfort in my joints and my back and everywhere else. So I thought, I'm going to experience it for about 90 days. And little to my surprise, the first 3 days after being on the product, I ended up sleeping through the night. First time in 40 years, I slept through the night like a baby. I mean, as soon as I put my head to the pillow, I'm asleep, and then I wake up refreshed. And then I would say that all my discomfort, the aches and pains that I was feeling in all my joints and my back, vanished over, I would say it took about maybe 30 days. And onward, because I've been on the product for 4 years, I've emptied out my medicine cabinet. I don't take anything over the counter, so I don't deal with any of those issues related to your allergies certain times of the year. I've not had any headaches. So, I just really feel good. I'm so thankful that my dentist shared this with me, and I'll never stop taking it. So, like Cindy said, we're very passionate about sharing this. It's so important because in healthcare, all we're doing is, treating symptoms. We're not getting to the root cause. And unfortunately, both of us see patients that are told that this is just the way, life is, and they're not going to get any better. So I say no to that. So I'm so thankful that you're all on tonight, and I'm going to hand it back over to you, Cindy.
Okay. Well, we will start. We're going to watch a short video that goes into a little bit more of the science about this technology. So listen, and then at the end, you can look, and as the video comes up, you will be able to search categories on your own and look at different options for any challenges that you might have. So this is a tool that we love to share with people, because with this business, the whole concept is based on simplicity. The technology may be complicated, but simple. It's just really amazing. And so we want to make it easy to share and easy to tell others about, because, that's how people learn. So hold on one moment. Let me share my screen. And we'll watch.
Hello, my name is Alan Noble and welcome to RailRedoxResults.com. On this website, you have access to lots of videos of real people sharing real results that they've experienced using ASEA's advanced redox signaling technology. You can simply browse through the videos or pick a particular subject that is important to you. However, if this is your first introduction to ASEA, then allow me to give you a brief overview so you can better understand why people are experiencing such amazing results. ASEA Redox represents a cutting-edge health and anti-aging technology, a new category in science that for 2 decades science had declared was impossible. A technology that many experts are calling the single greatest health science breakthrough of our lifetime. A great place to start is to get clear on what ASEA Redox is not. It is not a vitamin, a mineral, antioxidant, exotic juice, essential oil, or CBD oil. In fact, this technology goes beyond nutrition and ingredients, and yet can impact your health at a depth that no other supplement has ever come close to achieving. For many people, ASEA Redox is the missing link to better health and vitality. To grasp this breakthrough, you must understand that your body is the most complex communication network on Earth. Every second of every day, your cells pass tremendous amounts of important information throughout the body. Any breakdown in this communication, in this signaling, and you cannot achieve your full health potential. A simple example, your home goes on fire and you call the fire department. They have the fire truck, firefighters, fire hose, everything they need to put out the fire. However, if you don't have a good cell signal, they don't get the message and your home goes up in flames. Well, it's the same in your body. If your cells can't signal, then little else matters. ASEA Redox is the world's first redox signaling supplement that harnesses the power of the same redox signaling molecules that your body uses for this critical signaling process. This astonishing technology with 2 delivery systems, the ASEA Redox drink and the topical gel, Renew 28, has been validated by third-party independent science, and thanks to multiple patents, there is nothing else like it in the world. In a recent independent 8-week study with Doria Laboratories, a leading genetic research lab, it was found that drinking ASEA Redox could increase important gene signaling pathways by up to 31%, impacting 5 major areas of health: immune function, inflammatory response, cardiovascular and digestive health, as well as hormone balance. So at this point, let's take a listen to what health and medical professionals are saying about ASEA's redox signaling technology.
Inside every cell in your body, you're constantly producing negative and positive molecules called oxidants and reductants. And the contraction of that name is redox.
So with these molecules, we're amping up that communication. We're helping that cell signal.
Without these cell signaling molecules, we simply wouldn't do the gene replication that we need, the DNA sequencing that we need. These redox signaling molecules interact throughout the body with every cell that we know.
Every cell in our body needs these molecules for communication purposes. The more balanced they are, the more abundant they are, the healthier we are.
ASEA actually has the combination of the oxidants and the reductants that the body makes. So all we're doing with ASEA is enhancing what the body is already doing.
Having a product, a technology that's native to the body doesn't have to worry about detoxifying it because it knows exactly what to do with redox molecules. It's one of, if not the safest recommendation I ever make to a patient.
They found a way to stabilize them outside the body. And you can actually put them back into bodies that are deficient in those molecules. That's a game changer.
To have something that at its molecular level is native to the body is nothing short of a breakthrough.
This is something that's foundational for health, for every cell. It affects every cell in our body. And not just the cells, but the very DNA within those cells. You know, we talk about the discovery of DNA as being a huge breakthrough, the discovery of penicillin. Yes, these were absolutely huge discoveries, but now we have something that actually goes even deeper.
Redox signaling molecules are like the DNA whisperer. They signal cells to be healthy. And because of age, because of medications, because of toxicity in the environment, you lose your ability to make the redox signaling molecules. So having them with ASEA simply replenishes what your body is doing natively when you were young. You know, I've been in the business for 40 years, and this is the first time that I've ever heard about the redox signaling molecules, which to me is a breakthrough of the 21st century, akin to the electric light bulb in the 20th century and maybe even the discovery of penicillin. Because your body is a redox signaling program, and to be able to replenish it on a day-to-day basis, internally and externally, is not just a breakthrough, it's a game changer.
So as you can hear, ASEA Redox truly is being hailed as the most significant health science breakthrough of our lifetime. And it's not just health. Casual athletes all the way to Olympic athletes are experiencing improvements in endurance, strength and recovery, beating personal bests and breaking documented world records. In a recent university study, mice drinking ASEA for only 7 days ran 29% further to exhaustion due to significant metabolic shifts as their body started to burn more fat as fuel. And I'm sure you've heard it said that seeing is believing. Well, this same technology, when applied to the skin, results in a healthy, clear complexion, tighter, younger-looking skin, while dramatically reducing wrinkles, stretch marks, cellulite, and many other signs of aging, all while using the body's natural renewal processes. I want to thank you for taking some time and watching this brief overview. I would now encourage you to explore some of the other videos featuring people that I've had the pleasure of interviewing over the last year or so. Real people sharing real redox results. This is Alan Noble thanking you for your time today, and bye for now.
Okay. And Doria and I have met several people that have testimonials on that website. So go and watch and check that out. I think you'll be amazed. And actually, we are going to have a couple on probably in the next couple of months. It has such an amazing story. You're going to want to bring your Kleenex, but we will warn you in advance. So we do appreciate Nancy coming on. I'm going to let Doria introduce her. We will hear her story, and then we will have time for questions. So either in the chat or possibly raise hand if we can do this orderly. Okay, Doria.
All righty. So talking about ASEA Athletic Advantage, I have the honor to introduce to you Nancy Rubin Sharff, right? Correct? Yes. She's in Central Florida. and she's been a professional golfer on the LPGA tour for 15 years. And you'll have to share with us what this is. You were also an Elder Hostel Rhodes Scholar for 12 years, and you've been playing competitively in your sport of golf for more than 23 years. Is that correct?
Okay, I'll go over all that.
Okay, all right. So we're just gonna let you share your testimony. Tell us about, what your life was like before ASEA, and who introduced it to you. Who was that that friend that felt like they needed to share this with you. So you have the floor.
Absolutely. Thank you, Cindy and Doria. And I wish I could have you in my back pocket every day when I'm talking to people. Thank you for having me on. Yes. Okay. I played professional golf from 80 to 95, maybe before a lot of these people were born. Okay. And then I got married and had kids and didn't play much for about 23 years, but then I kind of transferred into teaching. So that's what that Elder Hostel golf was. It was teaching people now my age, which I was a lot younger then. So teaching it's what they call the Rhodes Scholar, or used to be Rhodes Scholar, and then they changed it Elder Hostel. Okay, all that. So I did that for another 12 or 15 years. And then I went through at age 50-ish, all that stuff women go through that is not pleasant. And I can remember at some point carrying my golf bag to the driving range. I felt like I was having a heart attack. So something was off. And my grandfather died at age 60 after playing golf, and so there's heart stuff that goes on in my family. So, a little concerning. So that was several years ago. And 7 years ago, my husband Bob's twin brother was visiting us and had a brain bleed and died on their 60th birthday while they were visiting us. So that got everybody's attention for sure. And my husband wasn't feeling very good for a long time. And then we ran into Dorothy Dabney, she kind of splits her time between DeLand, where we live, and Charlottesville, Virginia. Well, she was here with Dr. David Silverman to do a presentation. Previous to this, her husband, Bill, I would see at the golf course, and he'd hold up the pouch and say, Nance, you got to drink this, you got to drink this. And I'm like, no, get away. I'm not doing that. Not doing it. I didn't know what it was, So we saw Dorothy and she said, oh, come here, Dr. David, do this. Well, we couldn't go because we had something else. She said, we'll meet you for coffee the next morning. And I said, okay. And I said to Bob, I don't think we're getting out of this. We got to go. And Bob said to me, I'm going with you and you're not buying anything. I said, fine, I'm not. So we go and meet them. And David told us how he learned about it and how he looked at it for his father, who had a very serious issue when he learned about it. And Dorothy'd been on it several years, and she's active, a runner. And Bob said he just kept looking at them, and like the light bulb went on. And in like 10 minutes, he goes, we're doing this. And I said, what? So coincidentally, but not, as most of us don't believe in coincidences, I did sign up to play in the first U.S. Senior Women's Open qualifier, which was going to be at LPGA International Golf Course, which is where I played when I played, and I knew the course. But I was playing golf like 9 holes once a week, so clearly I had to step up my practicing and everything. And so we started it the same time, and I can tell you, 1 month into drinking this, it probably started at the 2 and 2, 4 ounces a day. I'm on the driving range, and I just kind of went, oh my gosh, I feel like I did 30 years ago when I was playing all the time. It's so bizarre. I can remember it exactly. And so then I was playing golf with some men, amateurs, sorry ladies, I play with the women too much because the guys hit it more like I do. But so I was playing with these guys and I was kind of keeping up with them, which kind of surprised me a little bit. And I would go to work out at one of the fitness places, and, you know, they measure you, all your arms, your legs, everywhere. And in a year, nothing had ever changed. But 6 weeks into drinking this, everything changed. I lost a couple pounds, a little half-inch here, whatever. And I just thought, wow, isn't that kind of interesting? So the big kicker was the day after the qualifier in June, this is 4 months later, I have my annual blood work. And I walk in and the doctor says, wow, your blood work's better. That number everybody's worried about that was like 220 was down to 175. I said, I'm drinking this stuff. I mean, I really didn't know that much more about it. And she was nice. She at least looked at it, you know, but didn't really do anything. So then as it goes on, I always had annually sinus infections right around the PGA show time in January. You know, I used Afrin, which I know is horrible for you. And I had to get decongestants and blah, blah, the whole thing. Couldn't breathe. Not to mention the yellow stuff on your car that time of the year. Well, since I've been on ASEA, I don't have that anymore. And I don't even know it's pollen season until I see all the stuff on my car, you know? So I went into a CVS and said, I don't even know where anything is anymore. I don't buy over the counter stuff. So I was kind of liking that. And when you mentioned your dentist, so I've had probably 8 or 9 cleanings since I've been on it. And my pockets are better and my gums don't bleed when they clean my teeth. And I'm like, I'm drinking this stuff, you know, so it just keeps, you know, the longer you think about it, the longer you're on it, there's kind of more stuff that's you don't have anymore. I'm older than my parents were when they had all their issues. My dad had a bypass at age 60. I'm on no medication. I exercise a lot. I probably never sit still, actually. So I'm thrilled. I don't know what else to tell you.
We know that there's on Saturdays. Of course, I work with a doctor that's always, I mean, he's hurrying. I work in an endoscopy clinic, and he's always hurrying his way out to go play golf, you know. So we know there's a lot of people that do that, and they do that to reduce stress and anxiety. But what are the drawbacks, like for playing as long as you do? I mean, do you have is there any issues of stress on your body?
So I can't believe I didn't think about this, but last summer I played a couple tournaments with some other senior LPGA golfers that I'd known some since college, so a very long time. And then, you know, one of them got on the first tee and said, you're going to have to watch my ball. I can't see very good anymore. And I'm like, oh my God, I'm trying to spray the stuff in her eyes, you know. But so then I started thinking, you know, golfers, what are the major things with golfers that they really concern or worry about? One, golfers, tennis, pickleball, anybody, sun exposure. I mean, I've been out in the sun over 50 years, and I think thanks to that skincare that came out last year, but I think I'm doing pretty darn good for having been out in the sun that long. And then the other thing is, I don't know if this is probably backwards, it says golfers, where does it hurt? Okay. So many golfers, elbows, shoulders, backs. Fortunately, I don't have any of that. I did have, my elbows got a little weary last year because I played a lot of golf for me and hit a lot of balls. But they're fine. And I've learned that when you have an elbow problem, it could be a back strengthening problem. So it's not just that one area. So I'm learning all that and working more on those areas. So I have initiated, and it's coming to fruition with the LPGA. We're going to do a partnership with ASEA. So I want to bring this message. Yes, Lou, I'm very excited. I want to bring this message. I've already been to a few LPGA amateur tournaments. I don't know if anybody knows any of those people. It used to be the Executive Women's Golf Association, and now they have merged under the LPGA umbrella. They are the LPGA amateurs, and there's thousands of them and chapters all over the country. So wherever you all are, you'll probably run into some of them. But I've been to some of those tournaments as a vendor, and I set my stuff up and I put the gel 3 times in 5 minutes, either on an area or most recently on the carotid arteries and your vagus nerve in the neck. And it seems to do just as well doing that. So I believe every teaching pro should have this at their lesson when someone comes up, because you always chat a couple minutes, what's going on, how you doing today? And if they've got something that hurts, say, hey, let's just put this on 3 times in 5 minutes and do your lesson and see what they notice. Because we all know they're going to notice something good. So
Nancy, you said you start out drinking 2 ounces twice a day. So what are you drinking presently right now?
I did. And I don't know, maybe when I started bumping up, but I did know that they always recommended if you're exercising, which is going to stress your body even more, that maybe you should do it before and after you exercise. So I probably do at least 8 ounces now. I have a little eye dropper. I drop it in my eyes 3 or 4 times a day. And that's why I took my glasses off, because I think my eyes are getting better, which is kind of cool. So, I mean, that's every year I've gone to the eye doctor and they quit getting worse and then they stabilized, and that's a slower process, but I think they're on the way to better now. And you just try and get it in you or on you. So my husband, Bob, who's, brother, departed way too early. He also had high blood pressure and was on medication when we started this. And we started in February. So even in the fall, he was still having like 180 over something blood pressure readings. And I mean, if I was me, I'd be freaking out in the hospital probably, but he didn't feel like doing much. But then he started rubbing the gel like all over his head in the morning, at night, and he felt like it kind of calmed him down. So finally in December, and this is why you need to be patient with us, he got a reading of 116 over 76, the best he'd ever had. And, who knows why, how long, and now he walks 5 or 6 miles every day. And people are noticing, we have a picture of us 8 years ago when we took our daughter to Florida State with these Florida State t-shirts on. And I posted on Facebook, some of you might have seen it. And then we put those same shirts on again. Quite a difference, I must say. So, and he's growing hair out of his bald head, which is kind of icing on the cake, but it's kind of fun,
Wow.
It's so funny. There's so many things that we're finding out ASEA does do and can do. Like the side effect of growing more hair is a pretty good side effect.
And I belong to BNI group down here, and we had our meeting this morning, and I have probably 6, 7 people in there using it somewhat, some regularly, some not, and the one girl said today, I love the ASEA products, but sometimes I fall off the wagon. She said, I got back on and my nails, look at my nails. She couldn't grow nails before and they were really nice. So, and I've heard that it happens for some other people. Maybe not me so much, but I don't care. I'm more worried about my heart cells and everything else inside there. So that's okay. Oh, and wait, So my friend Kathy, another golfer in Jacksonville, she says, what are your body grievances? I guess you'd say, what do you want to get better? Okay, when you're talking to someone new. And my couple things were always, my bone density was tanking. I mean, the last 6 or 7 years, it kept going through osteopenia and down. And I'm like, come on, I've heard stories of ASEA helping that and it's not working. What's going on, you know? So anyway, last December, it went back up, back out of osteoporosis, back up. I'm like, yay, finally. So it's
awesome.
it's a process, you know, you gotta, it's not just one thing either. I'm not saying ASEA did all that, but I'm doing some other things too to help it, but it's not hurting it, I'm sure.
It's probably using what you're doing and pulling it together and just kind of in the symbiotic effect
Right.
there, just working together. That's
Right.
awesome, Nancy.
Right.
Now, Nancy, other than the flagship product, which you just mentioned, the big blue bottle and the Renew 28, what other product that ASEA has that you like? As like, do you use a cell performance? Do you use?
This
Yeah.
is the mood. I took a cue from Alan Noble, who said before his presentations, he'll mix mood and mind, so he'll be focused and calm. But I decided to drink a little mood because I do now have to go to Palm Springs for one of these events that initially wasn't going to go, but I got to go. And, you know, throwing all that together, and then I'm going to have to take, you know, all my stuff too and make a reservation, you know, the whole thing when you got it. And it's only in a couple weeks. So, and then because I am trying to play some golf too, so I'm trying to get out and practice and play, and sometimes there's just not enough time to do all that. So finally just kind of calming down here, and this is relaxing. So I do the total skincare thing. I'm waiting tomorrow. We're going to do the mask. I have a couple people coming over so we can get pictures of the before, during, and after the mask thing. So I love this. So the Skin Renew, the whole system. We got it last April. I was at an event in Orlando with, if you know, Juliet Thompson from Melbourne. And we've kind of talked over the last few years, and she saw me, which she hadn't seen me since April, and she goes, oh my gosh, you look so much younger. I'm like, really? It's working, you know? So, you know, I know I'm not trying to be arrogant, but I'm pretty sure I don't look and act my age. So David Silverman says he's 62 and acts 26. I won't go that low. I'm 64 and I act 46. How's that? I feel like it anyway. Yeah.
I think you look great. So Nancy, with the golf, I'm sure you noticed when you were, you know, when you play a long round or a long day, you're very fatigued. So with drinking this, did you notice you could even go longer, or were you not as tired? How did you feel? What did that look like?
Well, I usually try to drink this in between nines, because when you play tournament golf, that's a whole nother animal. Like when I'm practicing, I just go, you hit, you go, you hit, you go, and everything's fast. In a tournament, everything's really slow. You're looking at everything, and then, you know, you have 2 other people you're playing with, and it's a whole different pace. And it's probably 4.5 to 5 hours of, you know, you're only spending 20 seconds actually swinging or hitting your shot. And there's a lot of time you're not doing that, but you're still kind of like focused and into it. It's not like you have downtime to do something, you know? So it's draining, but you know, I don't even think about it. I think must be recovering enough that, you know, I don't really notice.
Well, you definitely like you're aging backwards. You know, that's the whole key.
Thanks. That's the goal.
It's the goal.
Yeah.
Well, this has been awesome and wonderful. I've had such a good time listening to you. So, does anybody have any questions for Miss Nancy? Challenge her here.
Let's see some chats. Let's open this up. Let me go back to the beginning. I thought I saw some. I don't see any questions so far, just compliments.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
Yep, Nancy's skin looks younger than when she first started drinking Redox. Okay, so
Yeah.
anyone have questions? Someone have any questions for Nancy? Do we have any golfers out there?
well, and I'll
Andy?
tell you what else happens when you're on the golf course frequently, especially when your clubs are like on the back of the cart. A lot of times, like if you're putting the clubs back in, you catch fingers or something in between them, or you hit your ankle with your club and things that, yeah, they probably won't last too long or go away, but I immediately put this on and it's done. You know, I don't notice it anymore. Sorry. Hi, Norm.
Hi there, Nancy.
Hi.
I was admiring the golf bag, and I don't see that being sold on the ASEA website. So I don't know if there's a special website.
No, I had that made. And I can tell you if you want to have it made there. Actually, that one came from Australia, but
Oh, wow.
if I get another one made, I'll probably use this Orca company because I met at Kathy Nyman had this Rain Girl tournament, and one of the sales reps was there, and I played a practice round with her, and she kept looking at my bag and said, "Why didn't you get it from us?" I'm like, "I didn't know you then." And it is kind of a little better quality bag. I mean, this
Yeah.
is not bad, but it doesn't have as many pockets or that I would like.
It's
But
a great,
yeah,
it's a great conversation starter.
you know, I said I will definitely get my next one with you. So, and
Awesome.
yeah, it's, you know, I was a marketing major back in college, which I went right on tour right after school, and I'm like, oh, I'm never using any of that school stuff. But, you know, I'm playing golf. Well, it's marketing's your whole thing all your life. And now, you know, I got the C on everything I can get it on. And
Right.
you know, it's creating your brand, and that's my story, and I'm sticking to it for now.
Oh, absolutely.
I think I see Carl's here. I'm sorry, Norm.
It's okay. I have a golf course about a half mile from here. I've been having some leg problems that's preventing me from doing much in the way of long distance walking, but there's a course waiting for me once I get my leg straightened out where I can go up there. And it's a nice, beautiful 9-hole course in the country.
Where are you located?
East Lyme, Connecticut, home of tick bite.
We were just up there. I went,
Oh, my
one of the
goodness.
things I did was in Warwick or Cranston, Rhode Island, and we have a
Oh,
heat in Hartford, so we flew in there. I drove over there and met 80 ladies over there for their opening brunch. It was terrible weather. No.
Got to
What?
make sure you have your clam cakes when you're in Rhode Island, because that's where the only place you'll get them.
Really? Okay.
Very good.
Hey,
Awesome.
Carl, did you have a question? I'm sorry, Norm. I'm sorry. I keep cutting you off.
Sure. Just a couple of comments and then a question. I can confirm that Redox does work tremendously. I used to walk 18 holes carrying my bag, and the very next day, you know, the inflammation, the soreness below the waist would stay with me pretty much all day. And since I've been on it since August, when I play, I don't have nearly that level of soreness anymore after I finished a round. And the other thing that I have discovered is that when I mix the mind and the energy in the water and I sip that when I play, it gives me an opportunity to have a much better focus and energy, you know, in between those shots. And you're right, it can be very boring in between shots, but the focus is really good. My question to all of you is, I know you began to touch on it a little bit, but you know, there are some folks who start at the 2 and 2. I've heard some people say they take 2 every 4 hours. And I've heard some that says that they will go in and potentially up to take to maybe 4 ounces per day. I'm sorry, 4 ounces twice a day, and some that are going up to 8 ounces twice a day. What are you seeing as some of the reasons why someone would want to increase? Thank you.
Is that just for anybody, I guess?
Yeah. Mhm.
Okay.
Yeah, you want to address that, Cindy?
Well, I'll just tell what I do. So I did start with 2 twice a day, but now my standard is 4 twice a day. I think it just depends on what's going on. I actually had COVID in 21, I think it was. And so I'm not even sure how much I drank. I just kept increasing it. I would do some every 2 or 3 hours, especially the first couple of days. I was just really tired and sleepy. And then I nebulized with it as well, 2 or 3 times a day. And I know everyone's different, and the different levels of COVID were different for sure. But so this was Monday that I got tested. I slept all day. I was just tired, no fever, but just chills. And next day I felt a little better. Third day felt better. By Thursday, I was bored, and I was in that time frame you couldn't go back to work for 10 days. So I was up doing stuff around the house. I was chalk painting furniture. So whenever I feel kind of achy, or if I push my body too far, Nancy and I were talking about this before we started, when you really exert yourself and you just feel like you need a little boost, sometimes your body, because your body's not feeling well, you think, okay, I need to take some more Redox. And so that's what I do. I feel like if you ever have something you feel like it's coming on, just increase it. You can always back it back down to your basic rate. But if you have a challenge coming, you want to knock it out as quickly as you can. So it's always great to increase it if you feel like there's a need. And, everybody has to find their sweet spot.
And I would tag on to that too. So, there was a study that they did at Appalachian State University, which you can, I think that, I'm not sure where that's on the athleticedge.com or where that's located. I think you can find it on Google as well. But they did a study for anybody over the age of 40 should drink, at least 4 ounces twice a day. But what I do, like Cindy said, it's a sweet spot. But, if you're not seeing the results, that you want to, experience, then up your dose. So I do between 8 to 10, sometimes 12 ounces a day. And I know Nancy was sharing that, she drinks it, like the taste of it, when I first started drinking it, it had a really salty taste. And now it just tastes like water. But then all of a sudden, maybe there might be some inflammation in my body. And then I start tasting that saltiness or the chlorine, and then I take extra. So it's just very individual. But that tends to be my sweet spot. That's how much I take. And I'm 66, so.
I love it. I think it's a built-in barometer to tell you how you're doing, because your cells daily are changing and stressing and unstressing. And so it could be different day to day. Now, I had 5 years I've been on it. Mostly there's no taste, but occasionally I get a taste. So then I just drink a little more. And I just thought of something else that happened. I went and did this, one of these all-day retreat kind of things. And we went paddle board, like a canoe, one person canoe thing. That was like 2 to 3 hours of it. And we're on a river, and I had never done this. And the second part coming back, it's thunderstorming and we're on the river. I'm like, now I'm a golfer, and I know there's one place you're not supposed to be in thunderstorm, and it's near or on water. Okay. So I'm like, I'm booking it, man. I'm paddling, and I got back there fast, and I'm like, well, I can't wait for tomorrow. I'm going to be so sore. Never felt a thing the next day.
Wow.
So that really kind of opened my eyes, because that's something I don't do normally.
Well, I like how we were talking beforehand too, what you said, Nancy, that, a lot of people don't get this. They don't know what it is. They don't know what they don't know. And that's the sad part. So we do encourage people just to keep trying. If you're not having results, keep trying. It does work. The science is there, but you won't necessarily feel it. Like some people say, I'm not feeling anything. you will have to look for some subtle changes sometimes. That's why we put the tracker in the box, and that's a good trigger to help you look back and think, oh yeah, this is changing. So this has improved. But we just want people to be patient, because anything that we're having a challenge with, it didn't happen overnight, and it's not going to be improved overnight. It could take months, it could take over a year or so. And again, like you said, the longer you're on it, you're going to see improvements along the way. It keeps working. Any other questions?
Some things that you kind of think about that aren't so obvious. I actually had, now I'm not claiming anything here. I think this is interesting, but about probably 8 or 9 years ago, they wanted to take my gallbladder out. And I'm like, I'm kind of attached to my body parts, and I really want to make sure that that's the problem before you take it out. So there's a test, the HIDA scan, that measures the function of the gallbladder. So I had that done. And back then it was at 40%, 40. So I guess that was good enough. They didn't take it out. And then a few years ago, something kicked up again. And again, the same guy wants to take it out. And I did go for another opinion. And the other surgeon said, I don't think it's your gallbladder. I think it's gastro related, whatever. So I said, you know what? I'm going to do that HIDA scan thing again, just because I know what it measures, right? So I did do that. And my gallbladder was now at 62%.
Wow.
So I don't know. I didn't even think about that till recently, but it happened. So I don't know.
That's pretty cool. Any other questions for Nancy? Well, Nancy, we appreciate you coming on. And I met Nancy. We were trying to figure out where we met. I think maybe possibly one of the events in Texas a couple of years ago. But we appreciate this so much. And we always love meeting new guests and having new guests on and hearing their story, because that's what we're doing. We're just spreading the word.
Yeah. And hey, thank you. I'm happy to do it anytime. I'm probably going to be traveling a little more to an LPGA amateur event, maybe somewhere near you guys. If any of you know something, and come on out and say hi.
Sounds great.
Happy
Yeah,
to help.
let us know when you come to Atlanta or Nashville. We'll come out and support you.
Yeah, absolutely.
I might be in a tournament in Southern Indiana at the end of June. So we'll keep you posted on that.
Wonderful.
Okay. Well, best wishes.
We do
Thank
want
you
to
so
say if anybody's been invited and they've heard this for the first time, please get back to the person that invited you on the Zoom tonight, so they can answer any questions that you might have, and share some more information about this wonderful technology.
Absolutely. And next week we have Doria.
We have Rose Monday. So you guys she's going to be on very first. I mean, this is a blessing. I reached out to her, and she said, well, I'm really busy, and so I just prayed a blessing over her, and she said, I can give you 30 minutes, but she's going to speak in the very beginning. So if you want to get on the Zoom, you want to come on early, because and she'll we'll let her probably share for about 20 minutes, and then you guys can ask her some questions for about 10 minutes. But we're very blessed to have her. And those of you,
Right,
yeah, go ahead. Yeah. So she is the Olympic U.S. track woman. Is it track team?
Track and field.
Track and field.
Track and field team. Yeah. But Olympic coach. And she's, been to the Olympics with her track team. And she presently resides in San Antonio. Yeah. So she's incredible. And
she has an amazing story. I can't believe what she went through. Wow. And she wasn't even home.
Don't tell any secrets.
I'm not.
Yeah,
You have to come in and listen. Yeah.
That's right.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So come early, and we'll post that flyer on as soon as we have it, and invite people, because this is what it's all about, is inviting people to the Zoom, so they can hear and learn about this awesome technology, that we're all so excited about.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Well, thank you, everyone, and everyone have a good night, and we will look forward to seeing you next Tuesday night at 7 Central, 8 Eastern
Eastern time.
Thank you
All
so
right.
much.
All right, bye-bye.
Stop the recording here.
Thank you, lady.
Thank you.
One.